Hey guys, v2.0 here. Finally got around to updating my race rule map, so I figured why not make an update video about it in the process. This is Remote Lands version 2.0 by z2.0, and for starting off this, I'm just gonna give a tour of the map, and then I'm gonna give a quick little overview of the changes from 1.1 to 2.0. So, starting platform is right here. You have this, which drops you into the main lane, and then there's this sort of thing, where you land on that, and it teleports you into the ISO lane. Your spawn for that is set right here, so you can't accidentally walk into the main lane unless you're just not thinking. You have a choice, like right whenever you spawn. Alright, so you drop down in here in the main lane. You have some PvP supply chests down here, mostly for the axes, but there's also some food and some bows and arrows, so you don't have to go all the way up into the trees or all the way into the house. The trees are the main point of contention, a main feature place to go to in this map, because it has the only ender chest. You can't move this, you can't craft another one. This is the only ender chest that you have to access. And then there's some more supplies. These are just miscellaneous supplies. Do with them what you wish. And then a bunch of PvP supplies, full running supplies, stuff like that. Going through here, we have the entrance to First Wool over here. It's a PvE dungeon, and if I clear the night vision, it's actually pretty dark, and mobs do spawn in here. There are a bunch of spawners. They're all hidden. I'm not going to show you where, but they are hidden. They're the same. Yeah, I'll get to that later. But there are some mob spawners, and if you play them, you'll see them. And then once you get to the wool box, you have some iron blocks in there as a reward for making it through. Alright, over here we have the house. There's some more PvP supplies, and then there's food in the furnaces. It's just a house, setup base, halfway through the map, setup operation, stuff like that. Then over here we have second wool. It's a dig through wool, dig through PvP sort of wool. You drop down here and then you dig through all these blocks, and then you reach right here, and then you go through the other side over here, and you have to do the same thing. So it's a thing where you can PvP from lockdown from both areas, or you can finally be safe once you reach a certain area. So that's that. Down here is the Victory Monument. It's at the very bottom of the map, so you have to dig through all the sand. So yeah, that's that. Over here is just terrain, pretty much. Some PvP supply chests, bows, arrows, food, stuff like that over here. And then over here, I guess a little oasis sort of thing. Emergency cobblestone in there. And then over here we have third wool. I'll just get to that whenever I get to the change log, because that's something that would take some explaining to understand the meaning behind that, and I'll get to that later. Going back to spawn, down here is the resource area. Over here we have 4 iron blocks, 3 gold blocks, and then TNT supplies. You have to craft your own TNT, and I've found that's a way to discourage a lot of TNT shenanigans. Yet still have some. But over here is a bunch, just like a cobblestone sort of area. It gives you a bunch of stone tools, some stone, ladders, wood, some armor, stuff like that. And then at the very bottom we have a diamond block, a bunch more gold, and then a lot more supplies. Same supplies that are in the tree, except a lot more food. And then here we have the makings of an enchanting table along with an ender pearl. And then back here behind spawn, which you have to bridge over void for, we have another resource area. There's 3 iron blocks in here, 2 diamond blocks, brewing table, a bunch of brewing supplies, TNT supplies, and an anvil, record player because why not, and then some more makings of an enchanting table. Pretty risky to get to, but the reward for going back here is pretty good. And then as for the enchanting table, you've seen 3 obsidian blocks and then 2 books. The last, actually, I think I can grab my compass and just do that. The last obsidian block is inside third wool, right over there. So you can break your own obsidian block, or you can just go to all 3 places and get the obsidian blocks that I gave you. Now for the ISO lane, you drop down here, and in this blue and yellow house, you have your own ender chests for the ISO lane. Those are the only ones too. You can't break them, you can't move them, you can't craft more. Same as before. And then sightstone. Inside joke, if you know it, you'll get it. First wool's over here. You have to go down this huge thing, and then the collection is right here. So that's pretty simple and straightforward. This is a backup resource area. A bunch of stone over here if you need some for like tools or whatever, and then a bunch of like stone and pretty much every single ore. And then over here at the very end, some diamonds, some emerald, and then an ender pearl in the ISO lane. So, since I'm giving ender pearls, it should be fairly obvious that you are allowed to ender pearl in between the lanes, which, again, I'll get to later on. This is second wool in the ISO lane. It's a PvP, PvE sort of mix. You have a bunch of spawners that you have to deal with. Blaze spawner, zombie spawner, a bunch of skeleton spawners, and then over here, just a bunch of normal skeleton spawners, and then at the very top, just a big drop down here, and then the collection for second wool. And then we have some houses up here. They have some pretty bad supplies, wood tools, a few torches, few arrows, some leather armor, some rotten flesh, some wood, a bow. That's a low durability. And well, there is some TNT supplies, but not that much. Some food. Again, not great food. It's the main theme of the ISO lane. You get some resources, but most of them are crappy. And then third wool is over here. You have to scale this wall in some way, and then the collection is right here. So that is Remote Lands 2.0. I'm going to go over the changelog from version 2.0 to version 2.1 right now. The spawn pool is now no longer a spawn pool, it's more of a water drop sort of thing. You don't take any damage from falling down here, and even if you do, even if the other team does cannon over here, you still don't take any fall damage. There is a resource area now. It's not just that small drop into iron. There's more to it, and it's a bit more difficult to get to. I added the PvP chests down here, again mainly for the axes, but still some PvP supplies. I added this normal sand walkway just to break up the flow of just red sand. I nerfed the food that's in here for 2 reasons, actually. One, because I don't want to just give out food. I want you to have enough food to last a little while, but if you want a long game, you're going to need to go and get some more food. And 2, so that all the food isn't just in one area, because a cannon right here is a little devastating, because that can take out most, if not all, of your food. First wool is completely different. It's not just the 2 shafts, 2 straight corridors with spawners in them. It's actually a wool. The spawners are kind of hidden, and there's actually some terrain to go through, so it's different in that regard. And then one thing that's a bit subtle, I changed this from normal logs, like that with the top, to just all of it's the bark. And I did that for all the wood that's placed on the map. I did flower pots and flowers, because why not? Took out the food that was in these chests, and then just changed it in here as part of the work for your food sort of thing. I removed a lot of excess and unnecessary bedrock from over here. It just looked really bad, and I don't know, since I raised up the map a little more, I kind of took out some of the bedrock that shouldn't have really been there and wasn't really doing anything. I smoothed out this terrain a lot. shout out to Arapthos, Major Awesome, Jack, whatever. He helped a lot with this terrain, and it looks a lot better than what I had before. And then we have Third Wool. Third Wool used to be exclusively a no-build zone, where I can't do it because I haven't started the game, but you step on here, you spawn a horse over here, and you ride the horse over these barriers, and you collect the wool. Well, I kinda don't really like the aspect of the no-build zone in hindsight, and the fact that on the ArmC2Play server, the horses didn't spawn for whatever reason that I don't know, but they just didn't spawn, so I thought, why bother? Just let you build, and if you're on a server that does allow horses, you can still use them if you want to. That's mostly for Zarpal, who really likes the horses, and would have been really sad if I took them out. So, yeah, that's for him. As I mentioned before, I raised the map a lot. Right here used to be the bottom of the bedrock, or the bottom bedrock for the map, so all of that is now added. For the ISO lane, again, the spawn drop is the same. I got rid of this sort of like square thing of resources, because one, no one ever went down there, and two, it wasn't really that useful, if useful at all. So I just got rid of that, and then added this resource area instead, which is a lot more useful, and I foresee people actually going down here this time. First wool is, I took out the ladders in there so you can actually see the other team's progress on it, and I made it a lot bigger of a drop, so it's a bit more difficult. Not so much of a freebie, but still sort of difficult to get. Second wool remains fairly unchanged. Pretty much the only thing that I did, aside from the fact that the bedrock ceiling stretches the entire map, mostly for first wool, but still has effect on this. I added redstone torches because if not, it would be completely pitch black. And then pretty much the only thing after that is this drop right here. Mostly because why not? Yeah, that's that. And then third wool remains unchanged, aside from the fact that you can't dig around the bottom anymore. That was a foresight on my part. I meant for the bedrock to go all the way down so that you can't dig underneath. And you could still end up digging underneath and getting around here. You can actually get in here, like on top of here, but you could still do stuff from underneath, and that definitely was not intended, so I took that out, and that shouldn't be there anymore. Ender pearls are now completely legal. I didn't see why not anymore, and there was a lot of levels being wasted from switching between the lanes, so I'm like, why not? You can ender pearl. I think that's about it. I have a checklist that I made that has all the changes. Oh, now the void lane's 18 blocks instead of 16 blocks. That's, I don't know, not too big, but still something worth pointing out. I think that's about it. So, yeah, this is Remote Lands. I'm going to go back to the start just to give shoutouts to proper people. Rapthos, Major Awesome, Jack, whatever, he helps a lot with this. Zarpal's huge supporter of the map. iTouchDude, again, huge supporter of the map. Same with Command Badge, and then Platt just being a complete troll, and then part of my Race for Wool team, Sir Dibley and Swirlin, and then Condojomic for helping, trying to break it. So yeah, that's Remote Lands. Oh, one more thing about the auto-ref configuration. The starting mechanism actually works now, because I used levers instead of buttons. For whatever reason, auto-ref wasn't so happy about wooden buttons. So, yeah, it works now, so it should be 100% fine. So, yeah, that's Remote Lands version 2.0, sort of covering the things about 1.0 too. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and I will see y'all later.